Breaking news, and I'm not 100% shocked by this news. I felt like it was coming. Jake Paul, undefeated boxer, YouTuber, TikToker, I don't know what he does outside of boxing, to be honest, has retired from boxing. Following his war against Tyron Woodley, if you would want to call it a war. It was a war at times. You can say it was a war in round 4, in round 5 maybe. I thought he won the fight. Obviously, people are debating who won the fight. I think the only reason why anyone is debating is because they dislike Jake Paul. To be honest, in my honest opinion, maybe he did lose the fight, but I couldn't give more than rounds 4 or 8. Tyron Woodley, but that's not the topic right now. Jake Paul is retired for boxing. What effect will this have on boxing? Because to be frank, I think Jake Paul is boxing's biggest star. So, he can always make a comeback, but if he does want to start bouncing around, entering and leaving boxing, he's going to dangerously regress. Because if he was a regular prospect, the fight he had yesterday, I would say it's a learning fight. Where you got hurt, you managed to get over adversity, and come back and win the fight. That's what we would consider learning fights for young prospects to have. Deontay Wilder, heavyweight champion of the world, former heavyweight champion of the world right now, defended his titles for 5-6 years, 11 title defenses. He did everything. He got knocked down and seriously hurt by a journeyman named Arnold Schwarzenegger. Seriously hurt. He was almost out of there. But he managed to regroup and get the knockout later on in the fight. Anthony Joshua against Vladimir Klitschko. Seriously hurt, dropped, was taking lots of punishment until he got his second win and knocked out Vladimir Klitschko. Tyson Fury. He was dropped a couple times by, the first journeyman. He got dropped in round 2, came back to stop in round 3. Got dropped by Steve Cunningham in round 2, came back to stop Steve Cunningham in round 7. So these learning fights, usually fighters go through them. Sergey Kovalev got all he could take from Darnell Boone. Andre Ward, dropped and seriously hurt by Darnell Boone. Adonis Stevenson, knocked out by Darnell Boone. These guys go through stuff. Badou Jack, knocked out in the first round by Derek Edwards. And they came back and did great things. Many people want to talk down about Jake Paul, but very little fighters, if no fighters at all, fight this level of competition, especially at these higher weight classes. 4 fights. Tyron Woodley is a good fighter, and you saw yesterday at 39, he fought at a very high level. You can tell this guy, if he was a boxer, he could have been a world-class fighter. You could tell. If all he did was box, he would have been a world-class fighter. He fought well. He was smaller. He was only 5'9", 74-inch reach. Jake Paul 6'1", 76-inch reach, but he had sharp counters, very accurate, just wasn't active enough. Maybe that's due to age. Maybe that's due to being knocked out a couple times. My understanding is he's coming off 4 back-to-back losses. Tyron Woodley. I don't follow UFC. The only fighter I would watch, I watch all his fights, is Conor McGregor. I always like Conor McGregor from the second he came. I like Jake Paul too. I'm a weird guy. I like these alpha guys. Because I consider myself to being a tough guy. And I like to see other tough guys. I don't care if you're humble. I once got in an argument with my uncle about Messi and Ronaldo. I like Ronaldo's personality more. He's more of a tough guy, more of an alpha. It's no, Ronaldo is arrogant. Messi is more humble. Where really, you can't really base these humble guys. You don't know how they are in their day-to-day life. These more, quote-unquote arrogant guys, you can tell that's really his personality day-to-day. But these humble guys, it could all be a show because they're only on camera for 10, 15 minutes a day. You don't know how they treat their family. You don't know how they treat their teammates. You don't really know. So I get attracted to these brash alpha guys like Conor McGregor, Jake Paul, Cristiano Ronaldo, the Mamba mentality of Kobe Bryant. I like that. So I'm not the type that likes the humble guy. I like when Anthony Joshua, how he was sticking out his tongue against Dillian White when he stopped Dillian White. So now let's get back. I don't want to go too much off topic. I don't want to make this into a 10-minute video. Just want to break the news to you guys. Let you guys think whatever you want to think about it. But Jake Paul has retired from boxing. If he wants to come back, it's not going to be good for him. I would advise him to keep fighting. Maybe fight also a striker in MMA, but someone younger in their prime. Maybe do what traditional boxing do. Just gradually step on up in fights until maybe fight like a Sergey Kovalev, a guy who's 40, like 2 or 3 years down the line. If he continues to fight every 3 months, gradually step him up. Maybe in 3 or 4 years' time, Sergey Kovalev, a very old champion, fight him. Maybe you can stop him. Maybe you lose. It's okay. You're going to learn from it. Like he's sparring John Pascal day to day. My understanding. John Pascal is in his training camp. And John Pascal just got busted for 4 types of steroids. And he's sparring Jake Paul. So you can tell Jake Paul is learning from the right people. But I heard yesterday that he's only sparring 6-7 rounds. You need to go more than that. You need to go way more than that. I remember we had 3-round amateur fights and we would spar 10-12 rounds. You need to go more than that. Like each session, 10-12 rounds. Not like 10 rounds the whole day. No, each session, 10-12 rounds. But if he retired, my recommendation for him is to stay retired. Because if you try to keep bouncing back and up, you're going to get knocked out. You're going to get caught slipping against a guy that you shouldn't be getting caught slipping. Like how he caught Nate Robinson slipping. He knocked out Ben Askren. He knocked out Gibb. Look, he fought a serious fighter, Tyron Woodley, and you saw what happened. He struggled, but he learned. He's going to learn from this fight. He's going to learn that he has to, and he also needs to condition himself a bit more. Do road work. You need to be able to do 12 rounds comfortably. You can't gas out after 3 rounds. I don't know what BJ Flores is training you to do. Maybe dumb BJ Flores. Go see a more traditional boxing trainer. But as I said, if he wants to retire, please stay retired. If you want to continue on, gradually step up. Don't be bouncing back and forth. Don't. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, Sadiq Boxing out.